What's going on, everybody? Sip checking and welcome back to another Raptors video. Everybody, today we have some major news for you all because at the time of this recording, it is officially the 2025 NBA offseason. And in this 2025 NBA offseason, the Toronto Raptors are one of the teams that are making moves to help them get stronger for the upcoming season and beyond. And today we're going to be talking about one of those players that will be joining us for the upcoming season, and I believe that this player might even go as far as to become an important piece for the Toronto Raptors a few years down the line, especially when we are in the really deep playoff pushes and everything else that comes with that. And with all that being said, you're probably wondering who is this player I'm referring to. That player is Sandro Mamukelashvili, and holy cow, what a long and confusing last name. But what isn't confusing is his basketball game, because man, oh man, not only do I believe that this brother is going to have an instant impact with the Toronto Raptors this upcoming season and the seasons to come, but dare I say he might be one of the fan favorites as the season continues and as he continues to develop with the Toronto Raptors, especially given the fact that the Toronto Raptors has a great development system as of right now. So without further ado, let's break down Sandro's game as well as how I see this brother being implemented into the Toronto Raptors lineup that we have currently. Now, in terms of Sandro's game, let's get the obvious out of the way. This brother is an offensive and defensive player. In other words, a two-way player. And if you know anything about the Toronto Raptors, you know that they love to draft or bring in two-way players who play offense and defense. Because for the Toronto Raptors, when you play with offense and defense, it means that you're playing with a little more hustle, and that is needed, especially since the Toronto Raptors love to play through adversity and get wins, especially as we grow our culture and get more wins in the foreseeable future. But what stands out to me more about Sandro's game than the fact that he's an offense and defensive player is how he's able to read situations, especially in a fast break situation. Because when you look at Sandro's game as of right now, I don't know about you all, but it gives me flashes of Serge Ibaka. More specifically, how he grew from the time he started in Oklahoma City all the way to the point where he got traded to the Toronto Raptors after being with the Orlando Magic for half a season. And I believe that Sandro followed a similar path to Serge Ibaka because he really did the little things that mattered most, especially on the defensive end, whether that be being a defensive presence, whether that be passing the ball to the wide open teammate to make them look like superstars on any given night, or even in that 34-point game that he had with San Antonio where he went 100% from the three-point line. He wasn't really selfish with his shots. He understood every given situation and he basically made the most of all his opportunities, and I believe that is why that moment was so impactful for him. But with that being said, if I were to compare Serge Ibaka to Sandro, the only additional bonus that Sandro has that Serge Ibaka didn't have was in a fast break situation, Sandro has a very impressive layup game. And that is very impressive for a big man of his caliber, because usually big men are usually posting up or making threes or doing anything inside the paint. So to have a really good layup game, especially as he's going down in a fast break situation, is something that I believe the Toronto Raptors will definitely maximize in the upcoming season, as well as will develop throughout the course of his time as a Toronto Raptor, because he will be placed in more situations where that will be needed, and I hope that Sandro will be able to rise to the challenge when that time comes. So now that we talked about Sandro's game, this leads me to the other conversation that we need to have regarding this brother, which is how do I see Sandro fitting into the lineup for the Toronto Raptors for this upcoming season and the seasons to come. And quite honestly with you all, and it's pretty obvious, I believe that Sandro is going to be that backup center for the Toronto Raptors. In other words, he's going to play behind Jakob Poeltl. And the reason for this is, one, because he's really tall like Serge Ibaka, but more importantly, number two, if you look at the Toronto Raptors, especially last season, when Jakob Poeltl went down, whether that be an injury or fatigue or personal issues or anything else in between, there was a lack of energy and a lack of points produced by the Toronto Raptors during his time when he was not on the lineup. And ironically or unironically, those games were the ones where the Toronto Raptors lost by 30 points for the most part. Or even if they won, it wasn't unless Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, or a collective team had to step up to win. Basically, I'm saying that Jakob Poeltl is definitely a big factor for the Toronto Raptors to be successful in a consistent basis. So, with that being said, I believe that this upcoming season, if there is a situation where Jakob Poeltl has to go down because of personal issues or injuries, it will really help Sandro because one, he will get that extended minutes that he's been dreaming for, especially given the fact that he had that iconic performance last year with the San Antonio Spurs, as well as the fact that he hasn't got much playing time throughout his NBA career. I believe that he'll get that opportunity with the Toronto Raptors at that center position. But number two, as I said before, because he has really good awareness of the floor, especially in a fast break situation, even if Scotty Barnes is being pressurized or the opponents are looking at him in terms of trying to deflect his passes, he can always give it to Sandro to find the open man and get the ball moving. And either way, in both of those situations, Toronto will be able to maximize on all of their possessions, I believe. So that wraps up my thoughts on Sandro Mamukelashvili's game, as well as how I see him impacting the Toronto Raptors for the foreseeable future. And I'd love to know your thoughts as well. Did you like him? Did you not like him? Do you think that we made a smart move in bringing him for the upcoming season and the seasons to come? Or do you think we should have went with another player instead? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have all of those conversations there. And as always, you know what to do. Make sure to give me one of these, smash that subscribe button and hit that bell. And for more videos just like this one, make sure to check out this video or playlist wherever they are at the bottom. And I'll catch you all in the next video where we talk more Raptors basketball, more NBA basketball, or more sports in general. Until next time, Civ, signing out.